everyone. You're welcome to the second video lecture section. Just as I introduced to you earlier on the fact that the channel has been developed for the courses that I'm handling this semester, and you'll be having stress and stress management with this level 200 Libra course and that of guidance and counseling. And to the stress and stress management students who have still not subscribed to the channel, that would enable the direct receival of the videos. Please try as much as possible to do this. That will help you, because these videos that I'll be uploading intermittently until we have another face-to-face, it is important for you to have it, sit down and prepare your notes. And if you have questions, anytime we meet face to face in our face to face lecture, you have the privilege to ask every form of question for all your face to face, or your questions should be addressed. Today, the second unit, or unit 2 of our course outline for stress and stress management, talks about the models of stress, and that is the theories or the concepts, the principles behind stress. Very important we look at that. In our last video lecture, I talked about learning or looking at the theories or the models of stress. And today, we'll look at the models of stress, which is the theories of stress, and this forms the unit 2 of our course outline. The first theory that I want us to look at, I think we'll be looking at about 3 to 4 different theories, and we'll see how it goes. Even 3, we know that will help us to understand this principle, how the body reacts, how come that some people who are exposed to stress with the same kind of event, but others are not exposed to any stress. What makes the difference? We need to understand all these things so that we can as well look at our lifestyle and see how we can adjust and make life more comfortable for ourselves. The first theory that I want us to look at is the BioPsychosocial Model of stress. This theory stands on 3 main components. The 3 main components of this theory are as follows. This theory looks at what we call the external component of the human being. It also looks at the internal component of the human being and the interactions between these 2 components, as in the individual with the external part and the individual with the internal part. And as the name implies, external, we are looking at the environment in which the individual lives. We are looking at the kind of school the individual has attended. How is the home environment? How is the society in which the person is? Where is the person working? How is the working environment? These are things that are outside. We call them the external factors in the person's life. These external factors would determine how an individual will react to stress. For example, this is an individual who works in an environment where every now and then he sees people dying. So when he sees a dead body or somebody die and others are crying, he or she will just be looking at them because he has seen a lot and very even more prominent individual passing on. So it doesn't even see anything wrong. Whilst others who weren't exposed to any of these things, you see them wailing, crying, doing all kinds of things. These are the differences we are talking about. So these are external factors, external components of the individual. Then when we talk about the internal component of the individual, these are the traits, the characteristics that an individual is born with. These are the neurological and physiological makeup of the individual, how God has structured the individual. There are some by nature they are brave. There are some by nature they are not brave. You see? So if by nature the person is brave, when certain situations come, the person may not, it will not affect the person in that direction. There are others who are going. It doesn't matter what is happening around them. You see them laughing, you see them normal, you see them moving around. This is their makeup. This is how God made them. So a situation may come, or event may take place, or something will come. You see this individual going normal, nothing happens. But you see another group of person or another individual also sitting down with a hand around the jaw, thinking about it. You see the differences between these two individuals. What makes the difference? It is how the person was, the makeup of the person. This become the internal strength of the individual. So we are saying that for people to overcome stress, it is as a result of the kind of external experiences the person had vis-a-vis how the makeup, the natural makeup of the individual. When you put this together, that will determine whether the person will be exposed to stress or not. Let me give you a typical example. This is an individual who was born in a city, and another person born in a village. Where in a village, that person was exposed to creatures like how do you call it, a lizard and stuff like that, as against somebody who is in the city who has never been exposed to some of this before. Imagine these two individuals seeing this same creature moving. One will run away. The one in the city will run. Whilst the one in the village will not see it as anything happening. Why? Because of the exposure. There are some too who are naturally brave. They have that kind of push in them that makes them so brave, very, very agile. These people react differently because of their internal factors. So for people to experience stress, different levels of stress, the first model is saying that it is based on the kind of experience the person has had in life vis-a-vis how the natural makeup of the person is. This is interesting. Don't you think so? Good. The second model that I want us to look at, the second theory that I want us to look at, talks about, has a belief, the belief of the transaction theory of stress. The transaction model of stress has a belief. Look at what it says. It believes that one's view of a situation determines whether an event is experienced as stressful or not. This is one's view, your own view, your own interpretation to the event, how you view the event. The same event, somebody will see it, the same thing that happens. Somebody will see it as normal, another person will see it as disaster. You see the difference? It's the same event. So this theory is saying that it is not the event that causes people to experience stress, but how people view the event. For example, a student has failed, two students have failed exams, failed a paper, and at the end of the day, what happens? They are supposed to rewrite. You see one crying, why? I failed a paper. Another person perhaps have failed two papers, but you see him or her going normal. What does it mean here? Their interpretation, their understanding of failure is different. Maybe the one who has failed two papers sees that, okay, yes, failure is normal, but what do I have to do? I need to only sit down and then prepare very well and rewrite the paper. And I know that if I didn't prepare very well, I will fail the next paper. So why do I worry? It's better I sit down and then prepare. That is the person's view. Then the other person who failed one paper and is crying, is going through stressful condition, will say, my friends will laugh at me. How come that I have to fail? Why me? Why should it be me to fail? And all that. You see the difference? One is normal, the other is not. Something somehow has gone wrong, depending on their own view, their own interpretation of the information. So the transaction model talks about, is saying that, look, is saying that the cognitive appraisal of stress is in two parts. The way we appraise, we pass judgment on stressful event, it is in two parts according to this theory. And he's using the word cognitives, which means that it is only through our mind, the interpretation, the way we interpret event in our lives. See? So he said that the first one is the primary appraisal and the second one is secondary appraisal. We'll look at them one by one. The primary appraisal involves the determination of an event as stressful. So just as I mentioned earlier, that these are students who has failed a paper, one paper, the other has failed two, and is normal, is learning, preparing for research. This one who has failed one has been crying all day, all years, all months, whatever. What is the reason? The one who has failed one and is crying all over has interpreted it in a manner that it is dangerous, it is catastrophe, it is disaster for him or her to fail a paper. You see the interpretation we are talking about. So it's saying the primary appraiser, the way we look at event. Please let's listen to this very well. Certain things happen in our life, the way we looked at it and the kind of interpretations we attach to it will determine whether we experience stress or not. It's very important we look at this. And you know, in our daily lives, this is what happens to us on daily basis. These are the kind of things that happens to us. On daily basis, these are the kind of things that happens to us. The way we interpret events, the kind of things that happen around us, how we look at people, how we think people are looking at us. Oh, how people are looking at you is affecting you. Look at how wrong we interpret things. Some of us, we put on clothing, we put on our dress, because no one has said to us that the dress is beautiful, we are worried the whole day. These are the kind of interpretations we give to our event, and we end up experiencing huge degrees of stress in our lives. So he's saying the primary appraisal involved the determination of an event as stressful. So the way we think about it. And he's also saying that in the primary appraisal, the event or the situation can be categorized as irrelevant. So when the event, you see the thing happening, so this is nothing. It doesn't affect you. You leave, it is nothing. It doesn't affect you. Or you see the same event that, oh yeah, although this thing that happened, oh, it's good. You are okay. You are happy. But the moment you see it as dangerous, as disaster, as stressful, you experience stress. Please get it clear. The moment you say that this thing that is happening is stressful, it is a disaster, it shouldn't have happened to me, then from that point you experience stress. So why can't we look at the positive side of events? But we are only focusing on the negative aspect of it. The secondary part says that the secondary appraisal occurs after assessment of the event as threat or a challenge. So after the primary appraisal, the interpretation you give to the event, and it's telling you that the body will react, that is the secondary part. The body will then react based on the way you view the event. Hello? Based on the way you view the interpretation you give to the event. If you see the event as normal, the body will accept it normal. If you see the event as something that is good, to be happy about, beneficial, the body will be happy that it has achieved something. But if you see it as dangerous, disaster, stressful, the body will become stressful. We'll start experiencing stress immediately. These are the things we need to look at. Then we are saying that during the secondary appraisal, the individual now evaluate his or her coping resources. The individual now evaluate what? His or her coping resources. that means the person will begin to find out, oh, do I have what it takes to solve this problem? That is where the analysis is coming in. Do I have what it takes to solve this problem? If the person realizes that he doesn't have what it takes to solve the problem, the body can break down. But if after doing the secondary appraisal, the person realizes that, oh, I have what it takes to solve this problem, then the body is happy. The body is okay. The body will not deteriorate. But the moment the analysis says that, hey, I don't have it all, I'm from a very poor home, who am I to be? The moment you start doing that, you break down immediately. The body will break down immediately because you are not introducing anything positive to the body, but rather the negative side of the issue is what you are introducing to the body. Thank you. The next theory that I want us to look at is called the rational emotive behavior theory. The rational emotive behavior theory. That's the name implies. It is a behavior theory that we are looking at. How we behave, how people behave, the kind of behavior we put up, the way we behave exposes your body to stress. And it's saying that stress emanates from the maladaptive responses resulting from faulty thinking pattern. It is similar to the transaction model. This one is how we think. How do we think? Do we think positive? Do we see things positively? Do we relate to life positively? Do we see things that, okay, it has happened, it's normal, it has happened to others before, therefore it is normal. What do I do to overcome? This is what we are looking at. Positive thinking. If you think negatively, it affects the body negatively. Again, the goal of this approach is to teach people how to identify what they are doing to upset themselves. The things you are doing that is killing you slowly. This is what this theory is talking about. And look at it very well. The theory it comes out with some model, which we call the ABC model or the ABC model framework. This framework explains how the human being you can destroy yourself or you can make yourself. And when I say destroying oneself, it means you are exposing yourself to stress. And that becomes very, very dangerous to you. Look at it. The A stands for activating agent. The B stands for your belief. And then the C stands for the consequences, which is also the effect. Now look at the activation agent. The activation agent is what is happening. For example, I gave an example earlier that, okay, for example, you are called that you lost your dad or you've lost your mom, which is sad. Naturally, it is sad. But look at it. The moment the individual will sit and say, hey, now I've lost my dad, who is going to take care of me? How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to do that? The moment you start thinking that way and you say, yeah, then it means all is lost for me. Because your dad is gone, all is lost for you. Because your mom is dead, all is lost for you. The moment you start saying this, all is lost for me, it means you are believing that it is dangerous and it's going to kill you, it will kill you, it will kill you, and that is what will kill you. Then that becomes C, the consequences. You see, so the events themselves are not dangerous, but the belief, which is B, the interpretations we give to the event, that is what makes it dangerous. Hello? This should tell us that, look, we need to look at situation positively. We know naturally certain bad news will happen, certain bad things will happen on our way. But what you need to do is to stand. Once the issue comes, stand straight, think through. Can I get any opportunity around this thing that has happened? Is there any good side of what has happened? In the absence of all the bad thoughts that will be coming, can you also sit down and ask yourself, can there be anything good about what happened? If you're able to get things that are good about the event, the body will relax. But if you don't see anything good, you are only seeing negative things, it affects the body, and the body will experience severe stress. On this note, I want to say thank you for listening. Try as much as possible to read on this more and more. Go online, Google these theories, and you'll be able to get enough information. Once again, try and subscribe so that all other videos on stress and stress management will come to you. Once again, this channel has been designed for both stress and stress management and guidance and counseling. So if you have subscribed to this channel, sometimes guidance and counseling will come to you. That is not what you are interested in, but you are interested in the stress and stress management. I wish you all the very best. And as we continue and we meet again for any face-to-face, I will announce to you when we meet for the face-to-face, and any question that you have, you can ask those questions. Prepare your notes and jot down your questions. When we meet face-to-face for face-to-face lecture, you ask all your questions. Once again, I say thank you very much for listening to me this hour. Bye-bye.